Yeah, I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. I'm with the gang, we packing. We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fool with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoes, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas, keep. You with me, sheesh. But need OG, keep.
I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I was soon. Knew as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my broom. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm in a whip, so I gotta zoom. They tryna talk, they not in the room. I've been so real, I'm dead to the tomb. They in the way, they gotta move. I got a gas, they running on fumes. Told them way back, it's something new. It's me and Dan, you gotta choose. I'm taking what's mine, I'm doing fine. Don't see the vision, they looking so blind. I hit my low, I don't got the time. Crossing my T's and they dotting those eyes. Don't take offense if I do not oblige. I can't relate but like none of these guys. They hit me once and I'm cutting the ties. I was so low but I'm back on the rise, it's real. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I was soon. Knew as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my broom. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm hopping now I gotta go. I'm looking back, they not even close. I had a 4, now I need a ghost. I got a wave like I'm on the coast. Same ones are down and I dare the show. So way that I'm ballin', they think I'm a pro. I'm getting sick by the money I gross. They saying whoa, I told them all what this is. I told them all I don't miss. Said it's my time, look at this shit on my wrist. And when they shooting this breaks, I'm going in a new gig, gotta shift. I cannot stick to the script, I cannot wait. Watch how I get it and flip. It's just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone. Just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone. Hey, just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we
Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 5:51 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sorry for the late start here, guys. But Bitcoin has gotten the rejection from our key level of resistance, guys. That macro golden pocket with the bear divs that we looked at on last night's live stream did give us that drop to the downside. Where is the next stop for Bitcoin, guys? Are we going to lose the range? Are we coming back down to sweep the lower liquidity? Are we going to get a bounce back up to the POC? Is it still going to act as a magnet? I'm going to cover everything with you guys in tonight's live stream. And I said last night I may be interested in taking a short up there at the golden pocket. And we did enter that short position. So I am now holding a short from not the tippy top, but about $117-ish thousand. So I'll talk about that, and I'll talk to you guys about what I'm expecting next here on price action. We'll take a look at money flow, which is, by the way, guys, coming out just a little bit on many different time frames. So we'll cover everything with you guys so you have a clear view on what we can expect here moving forward for the Bitcoin price action. So shout out to the CandleMafia. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you all for being here. Al Jr. said, that's it. Let's short cross margin 55X LFG. Shout out to Al Jr. Welcome in, bro. Happy to have you in here. We got Cyber Crypto in the chat. Welcome in. Perry says, salute, Frankie. I got the short on ETH. Yo, let's go. Shout out to Perry. Might have not caught the Bitcoin short, but you caught it on ETH. We actually talked about that yesterday as well, as we were unable to break out of that value area high, and here we are cooking to the downside. Are we going to recover? Is this the lower high before massive lower lows on Bitcoin, guys? I hope not. And I'll try to give you guys some ideas on what the probability of that lower high coming in is. Panda the Prophet in the chat said, we just had the last liquidity party of the bull run. Shout out to the Panda the Prophet. I hope not, man. But we'll cover the bearish case with you guys. We got Book of Crypto in the chat said, save us, Frankie. Call Satoshi. Get on that money phone and call Satoshi. We'll try to get him to, I don't know. We'll have to call Golden. Maybe Golden, if you're out there, if you hear us. Golden, I know you're on that jet, bro. I don't know. Dump a couple $100 million in here. Bump this thing back to the upside. Let's see. We got no one in the chat said, obviously, it's time to short massive lower low incoming. Shout out to no one. Confident for the move to the downside. Well, we'll take a look at it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you. But without further ado, you need to close the door, Frankie. Shout out to Nirvana. Are you talking about the doorway to lower prices? Yeah, I wish I had the key there to lock that door up. We got Amina in the chat. Darren does things that, as always, said, Frankie, your old chair is in the background. I know. You guys see the old chair there hanging out. I guessed. I'm like mirrored here, so I probably was going to point like that. But yeah, we got the old chair in the background for the bearish aesthetic, guys. I'm just kidding. I actually just moved this because that chair is super uncomfortable, but it just happened to be sitting back there. It looks kind of it looks like it's there on purpose, which is funny because it's almost like the bear in the background. You guys know that old chair. Once we got the new chair, we wound up getting the pump to the upside, and it was good for Bitcoin. Bitcoin dumping. Shout out to Rudy. Yeah, bear chair. We got the bear chair, guys. Maybe should I take it out of frame? We'll see. If we keep dumping, I might have to get up and move that chair. But without further ado, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. We are going to be doing a giveaway at the end of the stream, so if you stick around till the end, we will be giving away 10 bags of Cardano, and if we hit 550 likes, maybe we'll drop some Frankie Candles hats in there as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's get into it. I'm on one, guys. It's Friday. I'm like delirious at this point. But obviously, guys, I'm going to bring up this simple chart that we talked about. Massive, massive level of resistance. We actually been looking at this forever, right? Pretty much since we put in this low here. This is that massive, massive retracement level that we've been looking at. Talking about, if we were to get that volatility on FOMC, be careful of this key level. It could be very nice. Those rate cuts maybe would have given us a push to the upside, which they did. But this massive level of resistance, this is the doorway, guys, or I should say the 786 is the doorway, sitting at about $120,835. That is the doorway to all-time highs. And our golden pocket here was not just a golden pocket. It was a daily MPLC, the point of control of our range here. Let me go ahead and hide all this. Bada boom. Clean up the daily MPOCs. And we'll just take a look at it like this. We'll get this off the chart, bada boom, bada bing. So, obviously, guys, we did have, actually, did I delete the... Where's that Fibonacci retracement? I'll just re-pull it here. But we have the full golden pocket, 786 retracement. That POC was coming right in on that golden pocket. That was our key level of resistance. And this is what we were talking about when we were rejecting the daily level that we had here. Just suspicious of that key level, our magnetic key levels of resistance getting tapped. And even here, guys, we got that first approach. But technically, we did get the front run there. And you can see, I'll just move this box up to the actual golden pocket. You did get that little front run. And sure enough, Bitcoin just wanted to squeeze on up there and tap the level before coming to the downside. We did get that SFP that we covered yesterday. Whoops. We did get the SFP. We had some 30-minute bear divs that were forming pretty close to when we went live yesterday, right? We had the higher highs on our price action, the lower highs on our momentum waves, indicating a potential pullback. Now, obviously, as long as we are able to remain above this value area low, guys, the doorway to the POC is still open, right? But I'm going to talk about market cipher and why I do think that there is a possibility that this could be the continuation of a downtrend. Now, I'll talk about whether I think it is the macro lower high. If you guys remember to the past live streams, right, this is the area if we are looking for macro lower highs and macro lower lows, which would call for a break of $107,000. This could be that zone to put it in at, or actually, this would be the zone that you would expect it to come in at, either the golden pocket or the 786, but with the confluence that we had on the golden pocket, this is the stronger level in my opinion. Once we flip that golden pocket, same level we're looking at on this chart, right? Once you flip that golden pocket, I would say that is a decent sign here that we could get a move up into, right? Let's say we get our push to the upside here. We get back to the POC. Once you flip that POC, guys, this is where Bitcoin looks a little bit better in my opinion. And again, we'll cover money flow in just a minute, but this is the biggest level to flip in my opinion, right? Once we get above that, we could look to take the liquidity above 119K, leading us into 120,000 to 120,800 near our 786 value area high for the full fill of our volume profile. And again, with money flow, the way money flow looks like right now, I'm going to be a little bit suspicious for that to be the case, because money flow does indicate the overall trend, and if we keep putting in lower highs here and lower lows, we might be able to get the bigger drop down to some of our other key levels we've covered in the past. I will bring them up briefly today, but those bearish divergences are starting to give us that play out here. We got the 30-minute bear div. We also had some high time frame bear divs printing. This was part of the reason last night in the Discord, dropping a last-minute kind of update there, being like, hey, guys, we have the 10-hour bearish divergence now printing. You can see the lower highs here, higher highs on price. We have the 12-hour bear div printing, the 16-hour bear div printing, and we also had the 8-hour bearish divergence printing with our 24 and 30-minute money flow crossing over into the red. And when you get that 8-hour red dot with the 30-minute money flow crossover, guys, it does indeed oftentimes give you that continuation and the start of that bigger trend down. And that is exactly what we saw. And I am holding this position. And when I entered this position, guys, I was I did not get in at the tippy top here on the SFP. Obviously, I was not in this trade last night on the live stream. Otherwise, it would have been nice. I would have shown it. But we did get the drop down, right? And I was entering in on the retracements, and I had one more limit order up there waiting to, because I took a partial position with the caution of potentially getting sucked up towards our point of control. So I took a partial position with another limit order to make it a full position, and that limit order never got hit. So I am holding a partial position here. Let me see. I do have it up. So there we go. Up 651 right now so far, and this is very close to our final take profit that we were looking at in the Discord, guys. And at this point, I don't know if I would consider this the final take profit. It is kind of just like the first major level you have to be aware of, shorting that key level of resistance. We do have to understand we are within the profile. So the original thought for this trade was pretty much to get that rejection off the golden pocket and then be aware of potential holds of that value area low in case we did want to get sucked up towards that POC. So this is kind of, we just barely front ran it right here at the value area low. So we'll see if we can come down and hit that. Maybe we'll do it on the stream. Maybe we'll get the bounce. I'll go over the local lower time frames as well to see if there is any possibility of a bounce here. But overall, we sat on our hands, guys, for the longest time. We talked about the key levels, the major key levels being 100 and, well, more recently, 112 to 113K right down hither. Well, actually, I just pulled it up on the chart. Bada boom, right? You have the 113.5 to 112K zone. Until then, right, we had the bigger level up here. We finally pushed in there, took the short. We're riding it down. We're still long from the bottom here. I am still holding that long with profits locked in. But now long from the tippy bottom and short from the tippy top, at least as of right now. But now begs the question, guys. I'm going to go over the key levels of support. But first, I want to talk about, what are the chances here that this is our macro lower high? Because, again, looking at this from a simple Fibonacci perspective on a higher time frame, right, you could look at this as a big area to potentially start a bigger dump to the downside. Now, the one thing that makes me suspicious is that POC is still untapped, right? So if we do wind up losing this value area low, right, we get stuck underneath here, the next key level I will be looking at locally is still going to be that $114,250 weekly and daily naked point of control. I am looking at this as a scalp level. We do have some liquidity sitting down here as well that might want to get taken out. So if we did come down there, I might be interested in some scalp positions. But when we start to look at our money flow here on the medium hourly time frames, guys, the 1 hour money flow crossing into the red, which was another thing I was looking at last night for the short position, right? If that money flow is crossing over into the red and we see that 16-hour red dot printing at the same time, which you can see was the case, that is oftentimes going to give you that continuation down. You can look at that money flow crossover to start, just like the 8-hour and the 30-minute. That 30-minute money flow crossover, very similar to the 1 hour, is going to give you, the continuation of that downtrend more often than not. So, you have your 1 hour money flow back in the red. You got the 2 hour money flow crossing into the red. You got the 3 hour money flow crossing over into the red. So I am going to be very cautious here, guys. I would love, it's very hard to say, are we going to get, as long as we hold above the value area low, the POC is an open door. But with the money flow coming out, I am definitely going to be cautious here. Some things that you can look at here are going to be the Fibonacci retracements, maybe the full retracement, maybe you could pull it from the lower high. But overall, right, we have to be aware that, when that money flow is coming out, chances of lower highs and lower lows is definitely in the cards. So I'm going to be cautious of some bounces here, obviously with the 2 hour green dot printing, the 3 hour VWAP coming up, the 4 hour VWAP coming up. By the way, money flow still kind of trending out here on the 4 hour as well. So when we see that money flow, you just got to be aware, lower highs and lower lows may be in the cards. But with these green dots, we could see a local bounce here, right? We talked about the key levels of support. We had a golden pocket POC here with a 786 Fibonacci retracement just underneath it. Maybe we hold this. I don't know. I'm a little bit suspicious of coming down to fill that volume profile in full. But if we do get a bounce here, you have some medium time frame green dots. You have some lower time frame money flow crossing into the green, but that does not step on the 3, 2, and 4 hour money flow coming out. So I would say maybe we can get a little bit of a local bounce here, but I am going to be very, very cautious of lower highs and lower lows, just to be aware of that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm going to hold that short position. My stop loss is at break even, and then obviously the long position is still in from down here. So that's pretty well protected. So the next key levels of support, number one, going to be the 114,250 zone. If we lose that, again, I am looking at that as a little bit more of a scalp level, and then if we lose that, I'm going to be looking down towards the, pull this fib. Right, I'm going to be looking here at that golden pocket anchored VWAP, which might be able, if we are going to break down here, let's say we get the bounce, the lower high, the lower low, we come down here. This anchored VWAP might move up in confluence with this level, in which case nothing really nothing really important there. Just, you would just have a little extra level of confluence. Instead of the two naked points of controls, you'll have the naked points of controls and the anchored VWAP. But we still have the golden pocket value area high 786 down here between about 113.5 down to about 112 283. So I would say, you know, I like this level a lot better than this level. Could you bounce here? Yes. Will I look for long positions here if I'm on the chart? Yes. But again, if money flow is continuing out, maybe at this point, right, maybe the money flow is coming out on the 4 hour, well, I'm still going to be cautious of lower highs and lower lows. This is a bigger level of support in my opinion. You know, you have two MPOCs here, but you have a golden pocket, value area low, value area high, and then the 786 here. So, you know, it could just be a range retest. So this is going to be the bigger level of support in my opinion, but just be aware you do have those local levels sitting in here as well. So we'll see if those medium time frame green dots can give us a little bit of a bounce here. And, you know, maybe we'll see it happen live. It is the triple witching, guys. It's the triple witching where all the witches get together and close their trades. But no, yeah, it is the triple witching, guys. We talked about this yesterday. We might see some volatility here. It might kind of be over, honestly. But, yeah, you might get some extra volatility to come in here because of that. All the I'll be honest, I'm not really qualified to explain exactly what this is. Somebody dropped a little quick explainer. Just ask AI. It's like options trader, like options expire. People have to close their position, so it does cause some kind of volatility. Let's see. Don't we typically see a quick pump and then a dump after cuts before sustained move up can take effect? Shout out to India Martini. This is a great I was actually going to talk about this, right? So what is my outlook here long term, guys? Well, number one, I am still bullish, right? Unless we break below 107K, at least for Bitcoin, right? We are still healthily, you know, up here, right? Until we break 107K, that's really where I start to get worried. That has not changed. That's been my stand. That's been my stance since I've entered that long position down from the low. But here's the thing, right? When we have a looser monetary policy, we have a Bitcoin dominance coming down. Shout out to anybody who was looking at DOT last night, getting the pop to the upside here, just like absolute crazy rip to the upside on DOT. But, you know, we're starting to see some signs of life here, maybe in the altcoins. But one thing to realize here, guys, is rate cuts is not like, I've said this so many times. They don't say they're going to cut rates and then it's instant up, right? And I've talked about this where it's like they cut the rates, and sometimes you can just get it could be like a sell the news event, right? Which is maybe kind of what we're seeing here, but it does not change the fact that we that we have this looser monetary policy here, right? It's not even coming anymore. Maybe more looser monetary policy is coming, but we're in this looser monetary policy environment. We have the RTY, which just made a new high. We have the dominance coming down. We have everything tapping on its all-time highs as far as total 2. Right, with a nice rejection, or I wouldn't say nice, a kind of a sad rejection here from that all-time high. But as we tap into these all-time highs for many of these, you know, total 2, total 3 also coming up here against the highs. We have the RTY, which made a new high here. So this all still looks pretty good. I still think we're in this environment where we could see the alt season come in. But India Martini is 100% correct, right? When they cut the rates, oftentimes it will stagnate or maybe even get one more drop to the downside. Sometimes it takes, like, sometimes you'll have like a bearish month maybe. And then it takes some time for those rate cuts to actually find their way into the market, right? And see that bigger, not correction, but that bigger push to the upside. So yeah, I've said this as the rate cuts are coming in, like, just be aware, guys, the rate cuts are not like an instant signal to send this thing up to $1 million, right? Oftentimes there is drops or just consolidation. It's not just like an instant thing, right? How nice would that be if he just came up there and was like, we're cutting the rates, and then it just moons? That'd be so easy, so nice. But obviously we were prepared for that sell the news event, especially as we were approaching this key level of resistance as we were getting that news. So, you know, my hopes, right? I hope that we could just bounce here and get the bigger rip to the upside. Once you flip that 786 at $120,800, that could be your doorway to higher prices. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But right now, simply from a context standpoint, we've now rejected that golden pocket, literally almost to the tick here. So let's see if we can get that sustained bounce to the upside. Looks okay, at least here locally, but longer term, even if this dump does continue, right, and we see that 2-hour money flow, 3-hour money flow, 4-hour money flow come out, you know, I'm still just going to be looking at those next levels of support. They all remain the same: 114,250 down to 113,500 to 112,300, right? Level number 1, level number 2, right? So that's what I'm looking at. Other than that, we got to watch that money flow. And the daily money flow still sitting in the green here, guys. We got the red dot printing, right? Red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot. Just playing absolute games here on Market Cypher B. But this money flow, I would feel a lot worse if this money flow was tanking into the red. We got the red dot. We even continued to push to the downside, but this money flow was fighting to stay in the green. So, you know, very, very difficult still to make calls here based off the money flow being very choppy. You know, the only clear time frames I can see is the 2-hour, the 3-hour, in the 4 hour. But again, I am putting a little less weight on the money flow. We used it last night to indicate that we would get that continuation down for the short position in the premium Discord. But I even said to them, I was like, guys, honestly, with the way market cipher B has been, we have the confirmations. And this is the importance of sticking to your system, sticking to your strategy. We had the bearish divergences. We had the local bearish divergences. We had the 10-hour and 12-hour and 16-hour bearish divergences into the key level of resistance. We had the SFP up here. So, I have the confirmations. I take the trade. And obviously, it is playing out nicely right now. But it is, doesn't mean that it was 100% guaranteed, right? But that's where risk management comes in. If I got stopped out of there, no big deal, right? I'm not taking a loss. I'm not ruining my entire account over that. It'll be a small loss. We'll live to fight another day, and the long would continue to pay us out. So that's what we're looking at. We'll see if we can hold on top of this 786. If I pull this up here, you guys can see, right? We lost the 786 slightly, and then we just reclaimed it. So if we can hold on top of that 786, maybe we get a little retracement. But within the volume profile, I just don't know if I trust this bounce, to be quite honest, right? You get the POC just above you. If you can't break above the point of control, well, you're probably headed back down towards that value area low. I'm not currently in this long position. But it could give us, with the local bullish divergences into the 786, with some of our money flow coming out. Maybe the 10-minute money flow crosses over, 12 and 15-minute money flow crosses over with the 4-hour green dot and give us a little bit bigger of a retracement. But I'm definitely going to be very careful here, guys, of lower highs and lower lows based off money flow. All right, and if you pull your fib here from the lower high to the low here currently, you do have some confluence here on your, let me get rid of this, your golden pocket value area high, right? So even if you came all the way up here, still could just kind of get stuck in the range, right? Bada boom, bada bing, right? And then come back down. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm going to hold the short position, stop loss at break even, holding the long position, and I'm just waiting for the bigger levels. If we come down here, I might be interested in adding to my long position. If we come down here, I'll probably just take a new long position with a tight stop because I am looking at that as a scalp level. But down here, it might be the first area where I'd be interested in adding to my long if money flow is not still looking like garbage. And we are starting to get that little continued push up off those local bull divs, right? We got a nice little 15-minute bull div down here. Lower lows, higher lows, money. Whoops, that was the trashiest line I've ever drawn. Higher lows, right, into the 786 reclaim. And maybe we can get that little push to the upside, especially if that 15-minute money flow crosses into the green with the 4-hour. But that does not change my longer-term suspicion of lower highs and lower lows. It would just assist that push to the upside, in my own personal opinion. So that's what we're looking at. Let me jump into chat here real quick. Show me the money, Frankie. Show me the money. Shout out to Alan. Welcome in, bro. Happy to have you in here. Made it to the live stream. Hey, shout out to Supreme Clean. Welcome in, bro. Happy to have you here. Just bought Market Cipher B, too. Shout out to Rudy. Hey, sad face. Sad face on buying Market Cipher B. Well, hey, man. I mean, if you're sad because maybe we're continuing down, well, just understand Market Cipher B helped us catch the short position last night. So it can help you make that money on the way down as well. It's the beauty of being a trader, my friends. 1 hour bull div on Bitcoin as well. 1 hour bull div. I mean, maybe like a hidden bull div from your wick to your bodies, but not on the bodies of the candles. Definitely no traditional bull div here. But yeah, maybe the hidden bull div can help you, but you still have money flow fighting against you. And remember, the money flow indicates the overall trend. It's not that you can't get a bounce off of this, right? And heck, I mean, hey, maybe it pumps up, right? You still have the open door. As long as we hold above the value area low, the doorway to the POC is open. But when you have money flow, this is going to indicate the overall trend. So maybe you got this is why I am cautious of a lackluster bounce, a lower high, and then a potential lower low. And if we just rip up there, well, hey, maybe I will, depends on how I manage this trade as we come up. If things start to look really good, maybe I'll cut it early. But if not, I'll just get stopped at break even and the long continues to play out. Other than that, guys, pretty choppy price action here. I know it's like super exciting, super scary, but at the end of the day, we're kind of just continuing to trend sideways in this little volume profile. This is why I like the volume profiles, guys, because it can kind of like break up this choppiness into like a nice clean to look at chart. So we'll see. Big level to get above. If you want like a bigger continuation other than this like little 0.5% move, flipping that POC, maybe that'll help you get up into this bigger retracement zone. But still, even then, right? Lower highs, lower lows. And this isn't even the full Fibonacci retracement, right? Technically, I would probably draw this like this, right? Golden pocket value area high, and then you have the 786 sitting just above that as well. So this would be the next local area of resistance I would look at. If you can get above that POC and push out, it's going to be very important to get out of this volume profile and above that 786. If not, in my opinion, right, lower high and lower low is probably going to be more likely. It's very hard, guys. Daily money flow is crossing into the green. We got all the medium time frame money flow coming out. We got the 3-day money flow coming up. We got the 4-day money flow looking like trash. It's so hard to base anything off of money flow right now. just using these medium time frames, because these are like somewhat cleaner looking than the higher time frames, but there's definitely still mixed signals here. But again, this doesn't mean that you can't make money, right? Like you see the entries up here, we take the short, you make some money. You take we're holding the long from 107K. But just because things are choppy and hard to define like a general direction, I would still say lower highs and lower lows is the higher probability, but market cipher's been choppy, right? Maybe it just scams up and money flow flicks back up into the green. I would not be surprised, right? If this just shoots back into the green with the way money flow has been acting lately. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on this. I'll set an alert here on the golden pocket in case we come up and tap that while we're looking at the altcoins. Weekly green dot as well still, yeah. So the weekly green dot, we were looking at this earlier. When it started to print, right? So you have the weekly green dot printing, 10-hour money flow is still in the green. This is a market cipher B 1/16th strategy. So that is good, longer, higher time frame. And let me take this off the chart, right? At the end of the day, if this thing is just going to scam back up, you got to stay above this value area low. Unless you fake out and then reclaim, like once you lose this, it's just not looking as good in my opinion, right? If you lose this, tap into the weekly and daily MPOC. You need a quick reclaim to get back in there. I'm just going to view that as a volume profile. So as long as we hold above here, if we bounce here, guys, and we don't get the lower high, POC is the next major target where I would still potentially be interested in another short position. Once we flip that, though, I'm going to have a tight stop loss on this one because once we flip that POC, that's the doorway to higher prices in my opinion. Not all-time highs, but at least up into like $120,000, right, towards that value area high for the full fill of the range. So we'll see what happens. Other than that, my plan remains exactly the same here, guys. Not really too much to update other than this money flow coming out. It's just binary, guys. Anytime I see this money flow crossover, it makes me look for what? Lackluster bounces, lower highs, and lower lows, right? This helped us identify the drop down here on the 4-hour, right? You get the bounce, right? You get, oh my God, we're bouncing. This is great, right? But what happens? You wind up rejecting your golden pocket 786 retracement, right? So even though you get back above the profile, if money flow is always going to be king, in my opinion, right? This is what helps me understand whether I should be favoring shorting the highs or longing the lows for massive moves up. In this case, you're going to be looking, you could scalp this, but this is not something I would chase or even look for a big continuation. I would scalp that into the key level of resistance and then probably look to flip short to get on to stay on the right side of that money flow, indicating the overall trend continuing to the downside. It's just a little past experience there, right? It's like a lot of people would say, how could you be bearish, bro? Like, look at this candle. Don't you understand? This is a mega bullish candle. Why, right? Like, a candle going up does not just mean that it's bullish, right? Like, you have to have these retracements. So just to kind of show that, you'd have to break above the Fibonacci retracements. Honestly, it's nice because you're staying within the profile here. But just in case we do break below and get another bounce, if money flow is coming out on the 4-hour and we get a bounce here, I'm still going to be looking for lower highs and lower lows based off money flow. If the money flow is cooking back to the upside, well, hey, then it looks better for a reclaim and ascend back to the upside. And there is a reason, guys. This is definitely a possibility. We talked about this, probably a week ago. If we get up here, this big level of resistance is a great area to short, which obviously plays out. But the TP is down here for a reason. It's because if we stay on top of that value area high, technically you're still within the profile, which could continue to fill the range, right? So shout out to the premium. I said this to them before, but anybody who took that short position, just because I didn't take profit doesn't mean you shouldn't. That's definitely a decent spot to maybe lock in some profits or at least move your stop loss to break even, which I did do. I did do there. Stop loss at break even. So there you go. Let's see. Jump back in the chat. XRP, edutain us. Shout out to Crypto Craze. Are you not edutained? Shout out to Crypto Craze. Welcome in, man. Mega candles. Let's go. Shout out to Speedy. I don't know if I was Saif. Speedy. I don't know if I said that right. Check out Soul for me, brother. Shout out to Woozy. We will take a look at Solana. We'll take a look at Ethereum. We'll take a look at Cardano. We'll also take a look at some of the other altcoins before we hop into the giveaways, guys. Which indicators do I use? Shout out to Elevate. I like that name, bro. Elevate Ideas. The indicators that you see right now, well, the only real indicator that you see is Market Cipher B. That is the only indicator. Everything else is pretty much just like a trading tool. Fibonacci retracements, volume profiles, anchor VWAPs, and just resistance and support. But the only indicator I have on here right now is Market Cipher B. Let's see. Frankie, the SFP on the 12-hour pointing towards 114K, but with this volume, do we need another day to reach it? Potentially. I'm never someone who's going to say, you could try to predict it, right? Like, when I took this short last night, I could say, well, maybe by tomorrow we can reach the value area low. But at the end of the day, timing is very hard to call, right? Like, you might chop around sideways for a day, and then you get a drop, and then a bounce, and then, sometimes it just takes longer to get there. The heck just happened on my mouse? Just disappeared. So yeah, it's kind of hard to call timing, to be quite honest. But maybe we need, maybe we get the bounce and the retracement. How long will this retracement take? Will it be a retracement for the lower high and the lower low? In which case, this could take a day or two, right? Or it could just be retest the POC, right? We could just retest that POC and come down. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised if you get a little bit of a bigger retracement here, just because of not only do you have the low time frame green dots and bull divs, but you also have the medium time frame green dots looking to print. 3 hour coming up. You might be confused. If you're in here and you're confused, like, I don't get it. Money flow's coming out, but you're printing a green dot, so it's like a buy sell signal at the same time. Not at all, right? I don't look at these as buy or sell signals, but the green dots and the red dots indicate the ebbs and flows in the market, right? You got an ebb, a flow, an ebb, a flow, an ebb, a flow, an ebb, a flow, an ebb, right? But overall, you're trending to the upside. Money flows in the green, you trend up. But the red and green dots, you get a green dot here, pop to the upside. You got a red dot here, you pop to the downside. Can't see it, but there is a green dot here. Pop to the upside, right? You get a red dot, pop to the downside. You get a green dot, pop to the upside. But the money flow is always going to indicate the overall trend. So that's why I say you got to be careful here. Maybe the green dot on the 4 hour can give you that retracement, but the lower high and lower low, if this money flow continues out, could be the overall direction. Market moves in ups and downs. So hopefully that helps you out. Anybody who's new to Market Cypher. Shout out to 2AA2 says, so are we at lowest now? Shout out to 2AA2. I'm not 100% sure exactly what you mean by that, but if you clarify, I'll try to answer that question for you. No problemo. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Shout out to Dremmer with his name now upside down. Shout out to Dremmer. How'd you even do that, bro? Dude's out here hacking the mainframe. No trades for me today. Have a great weekend, Mafia. Stay saucy. Shout out to Shirley Sound. A lot of people don't consider the third trade opportunity, right? You could long, you could short, or you could not trade, right? And sometimes no trade is the best trade. It is a third option, right? A lot of people are like, I don't know if I should long or short. What should I do? I'm just going to long. Wait, actually, no, I'm going to get stopped out. Let me short, right? Like, just sit on your hands. Let the muddiness play out, right? I avoided shorting this daily up here, right? Whoops. I avoided shorting this daily up here, even though we had bear divs. Did it give you a drop down? Yeah. Could you have taken that trade? Absolutely. But for me personally, I was waiting for my bigger key level to get tapped, which indeed did end up getting tapped, and we did get the reaction. So yeah, right? Like, I would sit on my hands here. No trade, right? You don't have to trade. You don't trade for the sake of being bored or the sake of taking a trade. You want to take a trade because your key levels are hit and you got your confirmations. You have to follow your system, right? Otherwise, you're going to wind up getting chopped up all over. Let's see. I keep getting tricked today. I didn't like it. It was so rude. Shout out to Amina. Yeah, the market is very rude sometimes. Shout out to Teutonic said, bro, I already sold all of my ETH. Can't risk the potential 30 to 60% final pump and wait again for 2 to 3 years. I'm okay. I'm okay with a 2x. Hope ETH will go to 28 to 3,400. Shout out to Teutonic, bro. Listen, I commend you, man, because a lot of people would just like hold on for the FOMO, and it's okay if it goes, bro. It's okay if it goes. You made it 2x? Great. You doubled your money. Right, and that extra, whatever it is, wherever you think your next target for Ethereum is, I'll take a look at ETH next year as we start getting up towards the altcoins. Even if you get a push up here, let's see, how far are we away, like from the current price up to say $2,800, right? Yeah, it's like 30 to 45%. Maybe we go higher, but yeah, it's like if you've already 2x your money and you just, maybe you need that money to pay something, right? Maybe you already reached your goal of doubling the money. Like, whatever your plan was, it's okay to lock in money and miss out on potential gains, right? Missed gains are none of your business, right? It's like, let it go. I was just talking to someone recently that sold their Bitcoin, and they had bought at the bottom of the bear market, and they're like, I just don't know. It's like, how much higher is this thing going to go? And I just told them, weigh the risk. Weigh the risk. Like, would you be more mad if you don't sell and Bitcoin does not make a new all-time high and you hold all the way back down, or you have to sell on the way down? Or are you just happy with you bought at the bottom of the bear market, Bitcoin's at 116K. Like, that's a great trade. Close it, right? Just take your profit, sell it, right? If it goes up, great. That's no big deal. You've already captured most of the move anyway, in my opinion, right? Unless we go up to like 500K. I do think a majority of the Bitcoin move is here, right? We've already come up massively. And I think a lot of people are going to think that the bull market starts here. Do I hope that's the case? Sure. I hope this is just the start of the bull market and we go up, but that's just not the camp that I'm in, right? I would say the majority of this bull market for Bitcoin, not for altcoins. I think altcoins still have a lot of room to run, but I think the majority of the run for Bitcoin is kind of already happened, right? If you're buying down here and you've already captured this entire massive move up and held through all this craziness, right? It's like, take your profits. It's a great investment right there. And then what are you missing out on if it goes to 140K, right? 26%? You're already up almost 600%. You're going to cry over 26%? Probably not, right? Is it really worth that extra 26, 40% even? I don't know. Maybe to some people it is, but it is a risk that you have to take. And as long as you understand the risk that you're taking, it's okay. Risk it for the biscuit, baby, as long as you know the risk. Let's see. Alt-season top timing. Shout out to Algorand Army. Again, timing is extremely difficult to call. But I would say, listen, what have we seen in the past, right? Like if Bitcoin winds up topping out here, let me see. Where is my... Right. In my opinion, we're coming up here to October 20th about. This is the 1-to-1 time fib. It doesn't mean the top has to come in there, right? But it does show, right? We are getting very close to potentially wrapping up the cycle. And that's why I say like the next rip to the upside, if we get a new all-time high, is probably, in my opinion, going to be one last push to the upside, right? Wrap it all up, and then the altcoins run, right? Like I would give it maybe into Q4, a little bit into Q4, but I don't know. I'm not really anticipating anything like, I'm never anticipating this time to be completely different than every other time. And why is that? Well, every time people are calling for something completely different, and every single time it plays out the same. Does it mean that this time can't be different? Well, it can be. This is, we've seen some things that we've never seen. We saw a new all-time high before the halving. This cycle is different. I think they all have their own quirks, but yeah, I just don't know. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of theories out there. It's like, oh, we're going to run into, 2026 and then the mega bull run starts. Could that be possible? Yes. Is it very likely? I don't know. I'll just say this. If we go into an all-time high, I think, October 20th, this is the exact time fib where the top came in 2021. So, yeah, I still think if you hold on top of 107K, I think all-time highs are still possible, right? The rejection from this macro golden pocket that we're seeing is not the best thing. Right? But until we break this, that's where I start to get a little bit more concerned about Bitcoin. But until then, right, you still have room to come in, higher low, higher high, continue to move up for the final move. And then the altcoins can run. But calling a time on that is very difficult, right? Cyclically, historically, you can say that October 20th might be a good date to watch, right? Just because it's around the same amount of time that we've had other cycles play out. And that is exactly, right? If I just pull this, I'll pull up a clean chart here just to show you guys. I'll pull that trend-based, where is it? Pull it up on the weekly, right? Pull from the top to the bottom. I might not get this directly on because I'm zoomed out here. Actually, where did I have this pulled from? I think it was pulled from back here. So you got your low, your high, and your low. There it is. There's that 1-to-1 fib, right? And this did come in. I might not have this to the exact candle because I didn't zoom in to get the exact tippy top. I think the fib actually came in right like here, right? It was like a week or two. It might have been 1 week right before the all-time high came in. And it doesn't mean that has to happen. All this is doing is measuring the time of the move. But if you're going by the timing of the cycles, which are very, very similar more often than not, we are getting very, very close to potentially wrapping up this bull market. Right, so I would say the bull market for Bitcoin has definitely not started. Even if we go up a lot, right? Like the bull market has not just started, right? We've already had the halving. We've already gotten a massive move up. It's definitely not just beginning. So that's why I'm expecting like kind of like a finishing move here. And then I think the rest of the excitement is going to be for the altcoins for this cycle, which is why I think most people are here. So yeah, and again, another reason other than holding above $107,000, which is the bull market support band, again, it's that psychology of the market, right? Like we don't have massive euphoria here. Like people are just sick of crypto right now. This is not typical of a market top, right? Even up here, it was not euphoric. The altcoin, we didn't have alt season, right? So it's just another thing to think about, right? From a psychological perspective, it's just not typically the sentiment that you see at the top of the bull market, right? It's going to feel like it's just starting, right? When it starts to feel like, oh my God, guys, finally we're getting what we waited for, usually that's pretty close to the top. We just don't have that. We haven't seen that yet. Retail has not entered this market just yet. Is this going to be the bull market that retail never comes back into? I don't know. I doubt it. So that's just my 2 cents. It's me. I'm sick of crypto. Shout out to Retro Mike Tech. I feel the pain, guys. I feel the pain. I hold a lot of alts as well. Seth Shepard said, end the bull market. Just kidding, guys. Shout out to Seth Shepard. No, don't say that yet, Seth. Not yet. Finishing move. Shout out to Wick's Wife 589 in the chat. And Wick 589. Jay Violet in the chat. Shout out to Bear Market Blues Brother. Says, it's time to count your chickens. They've hatched. Shout out to Bear Market Blues Brother. Just coming in here and giving the bear market spook. Bear market, hey, until we go into the actual bear market, I vote that you change your name to Bull Market. Bull Market Green Brothers. And then when it goes into the bear market, officially, and we can confirm that, then change it to bear market. Shout out to you, brother. What indicators are helpful? Shout out to Wakan. I mean, just off the top of my head, I can go on for this forever. Market Cipher B is one of the best indicators that you can use that's very simple to understand. Another one to check out is Lux Algo. It's another indicator that I use very often. Talked about this when we had the I'm not going to be able to pull it up. I'm going to have to reload it. But not only was this our bull market support band, but it was also our Lux Algo Daily Smart Trail, which is like another huge level of support that you want to stay on top of to continue these massive uptrends. So those are the two indicators that I like to use. I interchange them. I have them set up on templates on my chart. Check out Market Cipher B, pull up Lux Algo. But Market Cipher B is the one that you see living here all the time. So yeah. But quick reminder, if you're looking for someone to tell you when to buy or sell, it doesn't exist. Trust me, when I first started trading, I looked for the thing that was going to tell me when to buy, when to sell. This is a tool to help you make educated decisions, right? It is not a, oh my God, red dot short, oh my God, green dot long. You could try it, but trust me, I already tried it a million times. It doesn't work like that. But it could definitely help you when you understand the market and you know how to use this as confluence and use it to take information to make an educated guess. It is a big help, especially with the money flow. You could change your name to Candy Frankles. I'll have to change my name to that on opposite day. How do I get Market Cipher B to look like yours? Shout out to Crypto Studio. I am using default settings here. Only thing I've changed is colors, right? The only thing I changed was colors, and I also take the RSIs off. So that you would just change your colors to whatever these are, like pink and purple-ish, like a pinkish orange to a light blue. And then you get the same colors, and then just check off the RSI and the stochastic RSI, and then it should look just like this. So there you go. And Frankie Candles Essentials. That is probably the best free indicator. The only reason I don't mention that as an indicator is just because you can use the free fixed range volume profile, and I don't consider it an indicator. I consider this a trading tool. But yeah, I should say that. Best free indicator that you don't have to pay for, Frankie Candles Essentials. But you are going to have to watch the tutorial video to understand how to use it. You have to learn a little bit about volume profiles, but essentially all this is a fixed range volume profile with a little bit of extra sauce. And look at that. You got the divergences and the sauce can signal up here for the short position that I took. I wasn't personally looking at Frankie Candles Essentials, but it just goes to show, right? It's like, I'm in this short. Well, there's this red line is showing you the bearish divergences. This sauce can is letting you know that those bearish divergences are happening outside of the volume profile. At that point, you could look for the short position, look to come back into your range, look down towards the POC, and potentially the value area low, unless we scam out of here for some reason. So yeah, and funny enough, I was not looking at this indicator, and I am in that short, right? So this is literally the point of this, in collaboration with Lux Algo. Again, 100% free, no phone number, no marketing garbage. Just go on to TradingView, type in Frankie Candles Essentials, and you can pull it up on your chart right now and follow along. But it just goes to show, this was literally, they did such a good job on this. It was designed to teach people how my TA works without them having to do all the work, right? So you have the volume profile, but it's letting you know, like, hey, there's a divergence up here. The sauce can prints when the divergence is happening outside of the volume profile. That's where that signal comes up and says, hey, potential short opportunity. And just like any other indicator, even my indicator, guys, you can't just see a sauce can in short. You have to understand context of the market, but it is just funny, right? Like they designed this to show people how I trade in one indicator, and it's hilarious. I'm literally holding this short. Wild. So yeah, shout out. Great mention there. Oh, there you go. Shout out to Salam. Yeah, so the sauce cans print when you have divergences outside of the volume profile. Because the theory here is that inside of here, right, and again, context is important and all that, but when you are looking at a volume profile, your fair value is within the range. When you deviate outside of the volume profile, this is where you want to look for longs. You're looking at this as oversold, right, or cheap. That's where you want to look for longs. If you can get back into the range, we'll look to go to the POC and back to the value area high for a beautiful range trade. Then, when you come above it, right, this is looked at as a cheap asset when you deviate above the volume profile. If inside of here is the fair value, well, up here is overbought and down here is oversold, right? And then these sauce cans are indicating that you have specifically those bearish confirmations happening outside of the volume profile, right? If you have a bearish divergence inside the profile, the sauce can will not print. Because these are really the only places that I like to take trades, right, outside the volume profile. But again, you can't just use it as a buy or sell indicator. You go check out the tutorial video. Shout out to Tony D. If you could share the link for the Frankie Candles Essentials indicator in the chat so people can just get easy access to it, I would greatly appreciate you. But yeah, that's, just check it out. Back test it. Go into bar replay mode. Pull the profiles. See how it plays out. But you will see situations like, let me not just, this is the current price action. This is not cherry picked. But there will be times, right? Like it's not always going to be this clean, right? Just like anything in trading, if you don't want to chase a strategy or an indicator that's just going to get you the perfect call every time. Why? Because the market is just not perfect. You're never going to have that perfect clean setup. That's just how the markets work. But you can see here, right, I have my volume profile printed right here. And I think there's a setting to not print the sauce cans outside of the profile, like time-wise, so these don't pop up. You're only looking within the profile. But when you look at this, right, like, well, why did this happen, right? Well, you went from the low, you went to the POC, you're now deviating above the high. You have bearish divergences forming outside of the volume profile. This is where I would be looking for shorts anyway. Why? Because price is overvalued relative to the fair value. And if you get bearish confirmations, it's probably a decent idea to look for the move back into the fair value to rotate to the POC, which is the next likely place for price to go, and then into the value area low for the fulfill the profile. And you can see there is no sauce can indicator down here for two reasons. There's no bullish divergence, and you didn't go below the volume profile. I'm trying to find an example of like where it didn't work, just to kind of like show you that it's not just going to be 100% every single time, right? Because like sometimes, let me see if I can pull it on this range. Right, sometimes you're going to get like multiple bearish divergences. That's why I say don't use it as a signal, just like any indicator. Of course, I just can't find an example. Like, let's pull it on this range. I'm like literally trying to show like where. It's just dang. It's just I can't get it. But I promise there will be times, right? You might get a sauce can, and then you put in another higher high, and then you get another sauce can, right? But you can avoid those false signals by understanding how the market moves, understand context, the higher time frames, money flow, etc. So it's not an end-all, be-all thing, but it is pretty accurate. Like right here, right? You deviate above, you have bearish divergences, you came down a little bit, and you did get back into the range, but eventually you got to push back up. Well, this is very likely indicated by probably high time frame. Like, look at this money flow on the 2 hour. Crosses into the green. Well, that's not what you want to see for a continuation down through the profile. If I wanted this to continue down to fill the volume profile in full, I would want money flow coming out, not up. Right? But now money flow is coming up, so it's like, probably not the best confirmation. And then you rip to the upside. Like literally trying to force a trade that doesn't play out there. But yeah, there you go. Check it out. It's for free. Back test it yourself. Get familiar with it. And yeah. Let's see. Don't forget to smash that like button, guys. We're going to be doing giveaways here in just a little while. Shout out to Mr. Cal 20. Is it Mr. Cali, Mr. Call? I don't know. Shout out to you, brother. Sorry. We were waiting for you for like 20 minutes, but you didn't show up, so we just went ahead without you. Look for the sauce cans, open trade, pray, got it. Shout out to Toshi Sacker. We're all adults. You can do what you want. But it's definitely not how the indicator is supposed to be used. But it's kind of hard to argue against that when I just showed those examples. I'm like trying to show you, like, don't just trade off the indicator, and then every sauce can plays out, almost. All right, so let's go ahead, jump into Ethereum here, guys. Just quick little update on ETH. Obviously, we talked about this yesterday, right, and the day before. Just be careful. Right, we looked for the push. We pushed into the volume profile. We knew this value area high was going to be a struggle. Get stuck back into the range. Now we're back in the profile. I am still looking at this as our range. Value area high sitting at $45.82. POC sitting at $4,300. Value area low sitting at $4,200. So if you can't get back out of this range, well, guess what? Lower highs and lower lows is going to be the higher probability, in my opinion. Now, nothing I say here, guys, obviously is not financial advice, but You have to understand, right? Like, because I know a lot of people probably tune in thinking like, this guy will just tell me if it's going to go up or down. I can show you the highest probability, but at the end of the day, anything can happen, right? Someone could tweet, something crazy can happen, and you can moon out of here. There's never going to be a way. I know a lot of things that we look at, right? When we looked at this Fibonacci retracement for the golden pocket, right? Like, watch out for this big level, guys. More often than not, we will get the reactions, and yes, we do trade them, but there's just never going to be anything that you can find that's just going to be like, guys, guaranteed dump. For all I knew, right, I manage my risk, which is why I'm able to make money trading. I could have seen all the confirmations here, taken that short, and gotten stopped out. The reason why that is not a big deal to me is because I manage the risk. Any loss that I take on this short position, right, would have been way less than I would be able to gain, right? Or even if I did get stopped out, it would be a small loss, and I'm also holding the long position from the low. So I also still kind of get paid out on that. So there's never going to be anything that's 100%. I know a lot of people are just like, yo, give me that level, bro. Last one you gave smacked, right? just like I never want it to like look super easy, right? It's like, hey guys, we waited for the level, now we're dumping. And it is going to happen more often than not, but there's always going to be that unpredictable part of the market, right? Like the market is random sometimes. So when we look at Ethereum, I could tell you based off the volume profiles and money flow, look at your 4-hour money flow. It's creeping back up into the green here, or getting support on the 0 line. We're getting a green dot. This makes me think that you could probably get a little retracement up just like on Bitcoin. But if this money flow crosses into the red, the overall trend is much more likely to continue to the downside. It's not just that. It's the fact that you're inside your volume profile. It's the same thing here. You break down below the volume profile, you push in, you don't make it to the POC, you barely front run it, and you get to push up. What the heck? I thought we were going to rotate the profile. Well, what happens? You can't get out, back to the POC, back to the low for the full fill the profile. So I would say the highest probability here, in my opinion, is if you can't get out of this value area high, you're probably just going to continue down to the POC and the value area low. In order to step on that and completely look for a massive move up, not only do you have to break above the value area high, you also got to get above this 786, right? This is your doorway to higher prices. 47.78. Once you flip 47.78, that's where you can look for new all-time highs because you'll be looking to crack this structure because the idea of a high, low, lower high, and lower low is now invalidated if you break that 786, right? Because if you're looking for the lower high, it's going to come in either on the golden pocket or the 786. So if you get the push up here, you could still even reject that 786 and still come down, right? But if you flip it, well, hey, that lower high is invalidated, and you're probably going to go break structure to the upside, which would be all-time highs for Ethereum, right? Pushing above 5K. So money flow coming out. And right now, you're inside your profile. As long as we stay within this range, I'm going to be having eyes on the POC and the value area low. That's what I would look at on Ethereum. This doesn't make me long-term bearish on Ethereum or anything like that. Even if we lose this range, we still have, plenty of room to come down before flipping macro bearish, right? Remember, dominance, absolutely still looking weak. Just for anyone, because I know I'm going to get the question. Frankie, what about dominance? Still looks weak. Long-term, right? You got the 2-day money flow crossover, 3-day money flow crossover. But we're printing a green dot and a bullish divergence. Sure, that could give you the pop to the upside, right? But overall, money flow indicates the overall trend, not the ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows, ebbs and flows, right? It's indicating the overall trend. So any bounce here, you do have a 2-day bull div for what it's worth, right? Could get the bounce, but lower highs and lower lows is still going to be the higher probability opportunity, right? Or higher probability outcome. So what does that look like for Ethereum? Well, maybe it looks like this. Bitcoin dominance pushes to the upside. Ethereum continues its downtrend. Right? Then, when Bitcoin dominance gets the lower high and the lower low, what are you going to get on Ethereum? Very likely, you'll get a macro higher low, higher high. Right? Or even if we pull back down to our bigger levels of support here on Ethereum, which, by the way, is sitting here between 36 and 35.30, maybe you get the higher low, higher high, maybe get the higher low, higher high, right? For the overall trend to continue to the upside, which on Ethereum is the higher probability case because of our weekly money flow being in the green, right? Money flow indicates the longer-term trend. I'll say it 100 times on every single live stream because it's important. Even when you're looking at a 2-day money flow. Right? This is what made us anticipate low, high. Oh my God, it's scary. Oh my God, it's scary. Oh my God, it's scary. Higher low, higher high. Right? Because the trend on money flow indicates the overall trend on Ethereum. You had bearish divergences here. You had red dots, but it's an ebb or flow for money flow to indicate a higher low and a higher high. And now we're seeing that on the weekly time frame, which is obviously much more significant than the 2-day. Right? So we'll see. That's why I say we could still see some downside here. But if we do, it's nothing to be very scared of. Okay, so let's go ahead. We took a look at Ethereum. I'll jump into Solana real quick. All right, so obviously Solana hitting the value area high. And yesterday we looked at this, pushing into the 786, right? I don't know if we were pushing into the 786. Yeah, we have pushed into the 786. This is really your big level of resistance. Just to put this on a clean chart so you guys can see it very clearly. Just like on Bitcoin, right? This is the macro golden pocket 786 retracement from the high to the low. Opportunity for rejections here, right? If you break above this 786, well, guess what? I'm looking for a crack of structure of this high, which would be all-time highs for Solana. Targets above that high are 305 to 324. But you got to get above that 786. Just like the 786 to new all-time highs on Bitcoin is this 786, right? It's very simple, right? Breaking above that 786 invalidates the lower high idea. You can look for new all-time highs. On Solana, it's the same 786. You got to get above that level. Until then, you could see turbulence. So, what are the key levels to the downside if we continue to reject from here? I'm still looking here, right? Do we have the fib pulled up there? Yes. So, golden pocket, POC, 786, sitting between 220.10 and 210.56. That's the biggest level of support on the chart right now, in my opinion. And I would almost guarantee you could look for this this anchored VWAP. Maybe. I'm not going to look at it right now, but that could become confluent there as well. But this is the biggest level on the chart for Solana, in my own personal opinion. Continue to reject here. This is the next level of support. This would be a nice place to continue your higher low, higher high scenario, right? And then maybe that gets you above the 786 to push you into your next bigger targets up here. But until then, we went from the low to the POC to the value area high. Fulfill the volume profile. Might be able to cool off here, especially not only above that 786, you still have a monthly MPOC and a daily horizontal up there as well. So you definitely have a big wall of resistance here. But if you pull back, could come back to reload for a higher low and then break through it, right? If it happens sooner than later, well, great. You don't have to look for the retracement. But that is definitely going to be the biggest key level. This zone, daily and monthly MPOC sit at about 256. Get above that, you can look up towards those highs. But until then, I would say you could potentially get that bigger cool-off. Taking a look at our money flow, 10-hour money flow in the green, 4-hour money flow continuing out. Yeah, it kind of looks similar to Bitcoin. I mean, again, red, green, right? 3-hour in the red. So it looks kind of similar with Bitcoin's, same as Bitcoin's money flow, right? So you're in your profile, money flow is coming out. I wouldn't be surprised if you get lower highs and lower lows. Watch down here for that key level of support. If you scam up, great. Now you know the level to flip in order to get the bigger move up. That's what I would look at on Solana. Let's see. Frankie, you know what I'm here for. Cardano. Cardano. Let's go. Shout out to Tony. But look at Cardano. That's the female version of Cardano. Bearish for now, I think. Yeah, shout out to Crazy Pizza. And again, I know it's very, 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 very difficult for if you're new to understand, like I don't get it. Money flow coming out, green dots, red, green, what the heck is going on? I would say overall, I am bullish, long-term, on Bitcoin. One more time. Stay above 107K. I am bullish, long-term, for potential new all-time highs. Locally, though, that daily money flow, that 4-hour money flow, that 3-hour money flow could continue the local trend up, or down, sorry. But we could still look for higher lows and higher highs. If we get down here and things look like trash and daily money flows back in the red, 2-day money flows crossing over, right, well, then maybe we don't look for a massive bounce there. You have to be level to level here. So, yeah, let's see. Is Bitcoin continue to push up here? It's trying. It's trying, baby. It's trying. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on. You could do it. Not for the sake of my short. For the sake of my short dump. Let's see. What do I think of Pump? We could take a look at Pump. I will jump into that in a minute. Pump. Shout out to Jesse in the chat, our like police. What is going on, bro? Can we take a look at Narroweth? Is that what that says? Shout out to Bagholder Pro. I could try to find it for you. Let's see. Smash that like button to make BTC fly. Maybe worth a try. Shout out to Satoshi Stacker, one of the best rhymers in the world. Only behind one, and that is Wick 589, the most famous poet in all of the land. So we took a look at Bitcoin, ETH, Solana. Let's take a quick look at Cardano, or Cardanzo, as our boy James Kramer might call it. I'm not going to stick too much on the altcoins here, guys, because, again, you know, my sentiment on ETH is probably going to translate into the rest of the altcoins. But overall, guys, like I said, I actually covered ETH, Cardano in detail yesterday. Crypto Crow stopped by the chat. Shout out to Crypto Crow. And he was like, when the heck is this thing going to break out? So I actually went pretty in-depth here, right? We have a low, a higher low, a higher low, right? This is good, especially because all these higher lows came in on the 786 retracements, right? I'm not going to pull everything just to save time. So nothing to worry about here, right? In my opinion, just yet. I would say if we start cracking these lows at about 50 cents, that's where I start to worry. But for now, I would say, with the 3-day money flow finally crossing over into the green, right? With the rate cuts and the looser monetary policy being here, with Bitcoin dominance coming down, with Ethereum's chart looking bullish on the higher time frames as far as money flow goes, even if we get local dumps, yes, we could be bullish on the high time frames and still expect shorter-term dumps. With all that in mind, I would say this 3-day money flow crossover is very interesting, right? I'm going to pull up some of the TA here. Right, and we are tapping on the door of this local profile. So right now, I'll give you this local range. You're playing around with it, right? You get in, you back out. Resistance, can't get in, trying to get in. This is the level to flip locally. 89 cents, almost 90 cents, right? If you could flip 90 cents, you might be able to get the push up to the PLC. Now, is that confluent with what money flow says, with what Ethereum says? I would still potentially, money flow is coming out here, guys. What am I on the watch for? Lower highs and lower lows. Where's the lower high come in at more often than not? Probably the 786 golden pocket. High, low, lower high, potential lower low. Does this mean the Cardano's never going to pump again? Does it mean the bear market is here? Absolutely not. But it could mean more downside, right? And when we just talked about the rate cuts not triggering an instant pop to the upside for altcoins or Bitcoin, right? You typically have about a month, historically, before you finally see this stuff start to melt to the upside, right? This could be the short-term downside that we see, right? Doesn't change the longer-term sentiment. Again, I really wouldn't be worried about Cardano until you start cracking this, 786. Come on. You lose this 786. That is where I'd be much more bearish. If you lose this, might be on your way down to crack this low. So, I mean, we are right now very far away from that level, right? We're about 43% away from that level, right? So until we start playing around with those levels, that's where I'd be a little bit worried. But right now, doesn't look that bad. But just be aware, you are coming up to Fibonacci retracement. Daily money flow coming out. 3-hour money flow coming out, right? If I wanted a massive move up here on Cardano, what would I want to see? Well, I would want to see money flow doing the opposite of what's doing right now. I'll even invert it, and I'll even switch the candles, or the colors. Right? This is what we would want to see for a bigger move up, right? Reclaim the value area low. Money flow crosses into the green, indicating that the trend is going to be a low high, higher low, higher high, and a continuation of that uptrend. But what do we have right now? The opposite. We have this, right? So why would I look for that? Doesn't mean it can't happen. Again, anything can happen, right? Maybe it steps on the money flow, but you're preying on the fake out here. So yeah, maybe your 4-hour, 3-hour, 2-hour green dot gives you a retracement. I'm just saying money flow is not indicating that to be a massive trend, unless you just get a huge fake out here and this comes way back up into the green. So there you go. 90 cents at the value area low. That is a key level to hold. If you want a bigger move up, I'm just saying it's lower probability based off money flow, not only on the medium time frames, but also the daily. And then I would say if you're looking to get that move up to the POC at $1.07, you got to break the 786 here at 96 cents. This is your doorway to get the move to the POC. Until then, you could get the lower high and the lower low. So there you go. Simple if this, then that. Let's see. ADA is a stable coin. Shout out to Future Trader VIP. Yeah, I'd argue against that, but I don't really have a strong argument. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Armin says, Frankie, why are your charts so eye-soothing, but my trading view looks like shite? Shout out to Armin. I don't know. I appreciate the compliment. But I think it might have something to do with the fact that I keep all my TA, I don't have all my TA. Like, here's the thing, right? Let me expose all the TA I have on this chart. Is that what your chart looks like? What I would recommend is, a lot of these levels are key, right? A lot of these levels are important. All of these volume profiles are important, but you can't trade this chart, right? This is important. I used to think when I started trading, the more levels, the more like a science project that my chart looked like, the better I would be. Not the case, right? Because then you're thinking, should I reject here? Am I bouncing here? Like, there's just too much to look at, right? So what I do is I put everything into an object tree. If you go to my beginner series, I have a trading view masterclass that shows you how to set up your chart, how to mark up a chart from 0 to completely charted, and organize it like this. So, we're looking at this local range. Well, this isn't the only thing that we have to look at, right? And I will just get rid of this Fibonacci retracement real quick. This isn't the only thing, right? We also have macro ranges, but I like to turn this off and then look at the bigger range, right? That way I'm not looking at range on top of range, on top of range, on top of range, right? This is a mess. You don't want to look at this, right? What you want to do is hide everything and look at things one by one, right? Well, okay, locally, right, on a smaller time frame, maybe I can get back into this area of balance and fill the profile. Again, money flow is not pointing towards that, but maybe we could, right? Then you hide this. From a higher time frame perspective, here's the larger range, right? Which is pretty much almost the same exact value area low at 90 cents. So 90 cents is a huge level, right? Because not only could this 90-cent level break you into this profile for a move up to $1.08 and potentially $1.14, but it could also, same level here, flip this. You could be looking up towards the POC at about $1.20. Flip the POC, you're looking up towards the macro value area low at $1.82. But if you're trying to figure out where those ebbs and flows are going to come in, right? They're like the local, like, why are we dumping here? You got to look at all those levels, but you don't necessarily want them all in your chart at one time, right? So from a higher time frame perspective, I would say this is your bull market range from 2021. That's a clear area of balance. Big deviation below for the bear market, right? This is where you want to be accumulating, right? For the continuation up, and then eventually you hit your head, you hit your head, you hit your head, and hopefully at some point we can get in here and fill this range in full. And then eventually get a little correction off the golden pocket 786, flip that, and send it into new all-time highs. This will be a simple long-term outlook, right? But when you're looking to trade these lower time frames, this doesn't really help you, right? You need to look at those more local levels. So I appreciate that. Sometimes I look at my chart and I'm just like, man, why does this just look such a mess? So I appreciate that. But yeah. That's what I would look for. Again, money flow coming out. Same thing as ETH, right? So I'm not going to dive too deep into the altcoins today just because, we did ETH and most altcoins are going to follow that. But overall, I would say, still long-term have an opportunity to see altcoin season come in here. Shout out to Seth Shepard, said, I can see ADA at $5. That would be my top. People are calling for $10. Shout out to Seth Shepard. I love it, bro. Nothing wrong with a conservative target. Some people will be like, well, you're leaving so much money on the table, bro. Yeah, if it gets to $10, yeah. So, yeah, I love that, bro. I mean, if it looks good at $5, maybe you take half profit and wait for $10. But I like that. I like that. All right, let's continue on here. Taking a look at XRP. Continuing the rejection from the POC. Nothing to update here, guys. We take a look at XRP almost every day. Still within the profile. This is your next key zone of support. Sitting between 291 and 280. Golden pocket 786. Golden pocket and value area low are confluent here, so maybe we can separate that. All right, or maybe it's just easier to keep it as a big range. But as long as you remain in this range, doorway to the POC and the value area high is open. If you come back down here, you'd kind of want a quick reclaim of that value area low. Once you lose this 786, which, by the way, does sit at 280, I'm looking down to 250 to 260 towards our macro golden pocket. If we don't hold that, I start to worry a little bit, to be quite honest. And why is that, right? Let me explain that a little bit. High, low, lower high. Comes in on the golden pocket 786. High, low, lower high, lower low. You get another bounce. Where's the lower high come in? Comes in on your golden pocket. All right, so it's definitely an area that we could have that lower high come in at, which could call for a break of structure to the downside. But we still have 250 to 260 sitting down here that could hold us up. I wouldn't really be panicking. I wouldn't really be concerned until we start to play around those levels. Then we'll take a hard look at this and be like, all right, is this thing going to bounce or is this thing going down? But until then, right, you're just pretty much within this local profile. There's really nothing to update. Value area low sitting at 291. Your POC sits at 314. Your value area high sits all the way up here at 235, right? So until we lose the value area low, golden pocket, could just stay in here and kind of wiggle around. These volume profiles, like I just think of them as a box, right? You're not in it. You're not in it. You get in it. Cool. Now you can go to the POC. As long as you stay in it, you can go to the value area high. But with that golden pocket sitting here, it's just definitely a possibility of breaking down just because of the rejection off the Fibonacci retracement. You got your 4-hour money flow coming out, daily money flow in the red, 2-day money flow just bing-bonging around sideways, right? In the red, in the green, red dot incoming. I wouldn't be surprised if that cracks back into the red as well. But we'll see. Again, as far as money flow goes, guys, I it kind of stinks. Usually I can give like a much stronger conviction in the direction, but with the way that money flow is looking right now, it's just a level-to-level game for me. Until this money flow shapes up. So it is a little bit difficult. If you've been out there trading, it's been quite a difficult trading environment, like even on the lower time frames and the higher time frames. Let's see. Shout out to Jason Casper's Chicken. Shout out to you, bro. He says, but we should all pay attention. To right now is the liquidation heat map. How does it line up? We can take a look at the liquidation heat map for XRP. I don't know if you're talking about for Bitcoin. If you guys want to take a look at the Bitcoin heat map, I'll just pull it up because I have it here right now. We took a look at this yesterday. So, and again, here's the thing, guys. Liquidation heat maps are not 100%, right? These are estimations. They're usually pretty close, right? A lot of the times when we're looking for SFPs, there is a hot spot of liquidity sitting in the zone. But we have some liquidation sitting down here between 114.4 down to about 113.2, right? Well, what does that give us? Well, we have key support. Oh, man, this thing is trying so hard. We have liquidations leading us down into that 114,250 level. Right? So maybe you want to kind of sweep out that liquidity. But again, I would feel much better about this if money flow was crossing into the green and not coming out on a lot of these time frames, which unfortunately it is. Right? It's like you don't want this to be the case as you get the bounces. But you do have liquidity sitting down here, which could act as a magnet for price into key support. So again, I will be looking. If you guys missed this TA on Bitcoin, just scrub back. I'm not going to go over it again, but just to show that, like liquidity sitting down here. And then we do still also have a significant amount of liquidity up here as well, right? Leading up pretty much into 100 and pretty much living like in this resistance, right? So it's like kind of hard. That's why it's like an if this, then that statement. Get sucked up towards this liquidity? Well, that's another opportunity. Get sucked up down towards this liquidity? Well, hey, might be another opportunity, right? So I don't know which way it's going to go first. I would say money flows, and we're closer to this level, and money flow is also pointing towards this level. Very difficult. Difficult environment. Actually, it's nice, right? And just because you're in a difficult environment does not mean that like you can't catch these positions, right? We have been trading this, we have been making money, but it's definitely difficult. It's definitely very difficult. Not a great environment to be trading. Long-term bullish. Yeah, shout out to Amir. Shout out to Amori. Amori says the 114K is closer. Yes, absolutely. Send it to 0. Let market cipher clear up, then back up for more dots after dots. Yeah, for no more dots after dots. Yeah, shout out to Lucia. Rate cuts. I think there's like, maybe I'll pull this up. I think there's a chart that shows you like the performance after rate cuts. I think it is about a month of downward price action, but you don't want to get spooked out, right? Like this is the kind of situation that I've talked about a while back is like, you don't want to get flushed out at the wrong time, right? Like you don't want to get flushed out and then like right as we get the looser monetary policy and then eventually, because everyone kind of just thinks like they're going to cut rates and then it's to the moon, right? Like I'm waiting for text messages from people. What happened, bro? They're cutting rates. Why are we dumping? It's like, you gotta zoom out. Like a lot of people in my personal life will be like, they'll start paying attention to the rate cuts and stuff. They're like, I thought someone said this was supposed to be bullish. Why aren't we pumping? It's like, dude, this is not how the market works, man. It's like, it doesn't mean it's not gonna happen. It's just, you gotta zoom out. Right? This has been a brutal ride, but like, we're still above support. Even if we come down here, people are gonna be like, oh my God, right? And maybe it is, oh my God, right? Maybe money flow looks like trash and we're gonna break the low. I don't know. But it's like, there's nothing about this dump that just means 0, right? We're pretty much going sideways. So yeah, maybe it's chop, maybe it's a little bit more of a dump, maybe it gets a scary dump before we finally get the melt up, which I would absolutely love. So yeah, it's just my 2 cents. Zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out, baby. Is Nightbot awake? I think Nightbot is napping right now. Tony, can you wake up Nightbot? I love that impression. Shout out to Beretta Boys. Beretta Boys! How about the Sig Boys or the Smith & Wesson Boys? Let's go. I'm a Smith & Wesson boy myself. Most will lose it, all hoping for prices to go higher. Shout out to Bring the Chaos. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's pretty much how everybody lost their money last cycle. I don't mean to laugh at that. I'm not laughing. It's just like typical, right? I'm not laughing at anybody losing money. I pray everybody makes money. This is why I come up here every day and try to help everybody. This stream is so good. Shout out to Calypso. Smash that like button. If you think it's so good, brother, smash that like button. We appreciate you for being here. Calypso. I like that name. Yeah, Tony, let's go ahead. Yeah, we got to start getting into the giveaways here, guys. I will take a quick look at, what did I write down here? Take a look at Pump. Let's take a look. I mean, Pump has to go up, right? Like, how could Pump not go up? Its name is Pump. That's how it works. Let's take a look here. And I told you Pump's got to go up. It's the only reason it's pumping, guys. When you name your coin Pump, it has to go up. Smart move on their part. All right, I'm just trying to see what we have, where we have like the most price history. There we go. MEXC coming through with like all the crazy price history. I love it. So I don't have a lot to go off of here. Only because I don't have the chart marked up. There's plenty of price action. I just don't want to spend a super amount of time. Oh, there we go. Holy cow. Shout out to Tony D. All right, giveaway winners are out. I didn't know it was going to happen that fast. Shout out to 10 bags of ADA. 1 bag per person, not 10 bags per person. We gave away 3X Cardano last time. But shout out to Boot Time. Shout out to Jason Casper's Chicken. You won Cardano, bro. Shout out to you. We got Wick 589. Let's go, baby. Shout out to Wick. Rocket Man, Cuz I Can Bump It, or Koozie Can, as we like to call him. Koozie Can, as I like to call him. Shout out to you. Nefesto, Pedro, Chaps, and Schlawclaw. That's a nice one, too. Shout out to you guys. You got a free bag of Cardano. To claim your prize, head to the giveaway. Head to the free Discord, link in the description down below, and go to the Help Center. And there you go. Oh, dang, I won something. Yo, shout out to you, bro. I never win anything either, guys. I'm not going to lie. It's really sad. Like, I don't play any raffles. Well, me and Mrs. Candles went to a baseball game a couple weeks ago, and or a few weeks ago now. And they had like one of those 50-50 raffles. And I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm so sick of not winning something. I thought about just dropping money on that thing. I was like, surely if I give enough money, I'll have a way bigger advantage. I don't know if that's how it worked. I heard someone had done that. I think it was Tom Segura. He said he does those 50-50 raffles, and he puts like $5,000 in, and he's like won a ton of money, like a bunch of times. And I was just thinking about it. I'm like, I never win anything. Maybe I should just dump into this, right? I'm a trader. I take risk for a living. Maybe I should dump a few grand in here. I didn't do it, though, because they didn't take cash. I had cash on me, which I don't usually have, but they didn't take cash. I was like, well, dang. I was like, I don't want to use my card. I was like, I just have the money right here. Just take it. They wouldn't take it. What did I win? A milli? Shout out to Jason Casper's Chicken. It's a bag of Cardano. I honestly don't even know how much Cardano it is. If I'm, I need me a plane. Yeah, I would love a plane. Shout out to Golden. Golden actually does have a plane. It's crazy. It's insane. I won an SMG 45 for $100. Only thing I ever won. Like an SMG 45, like an SMG, like a Gratata SMG. That's crazy. That's a fire prize. No pun intended. But yeah, let me take a look at Pump Fum here for you guys. Congratulations to the winners. And yeah, I don't have any TA here. Let me pull up my visible range volume profile, which oftentimes gives me a very fast understanding of what's going on, right? Because it just tells me where all the volume is, right? Where we have voids in volume, right? Oh, fast jump down, right? Well, how could you have predicted this? Come on, volume. Come on, volume. There you go. Right? Well, hey, you got a high volume node here. Price sticks. If you're still sticking around to the end of this Friday stream, guys, first of all, I commend you. Number two, you're getting a little bit of sauce here. If you're new. When you look at volume like this, right, you're typically used to seeing volume come up from the bottom of the chart, right? They're like bars, right? This volume is different. This is the amount of volume traded at each price, right? But what this helps us do is you have high volume nodes, which looks like this, high volume node. I mean, heck, like this could be looked at as a high volume node. But for the most part, high volume node. Well, hey, you don't really have a lot of volume in here. That is what we call a low volume gap. How this helps us is we could say to ourselves, well, hey, if we have a low volume gap right here, price is probably going to move very quickly through this level. Support, support, support. Once you break below that, you can expect a fast drop through that low volume gap. And you can see that plays out perfectly, right? Well, right here, what are we bouncing off of? Well, you have another little high volume node here. But below that, you have another low volume gap, right? And more often than not, you might be able to even view this as like one giant low volume gap. But technically, you have a little high volume node there. But once you break back down below this gap, well, guess what's probably going to happen? You're probably going to get another fast drop down until you hit your next area of volume, which starts to come out over here. So I would definitely watch this low volume gap. And we also did this on AVAX recently, which wound up playing out beautifully. I forget who it was. Somebody, shout out to, somebody mentioned that they took the information and actually made some money. And look at the rejection off the resistance, guys. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. But we had this low volume gap between about 227.78 and 33.97. And what did we say? Low volume gaps give quick moves. We break above here. You can see the quick move through the gap. Bing bong, right into the key level of resistance. We had one here and one here. And we are currently rejecting directly from that second level of resistance. Very nice. But this is an AVAX TA. This is Pump Fun TA. So let's go back to Pump Fun. So just keep in mind, right? Like that's typically how it works. So I would say you do have a low volume gap here, sitting between 6.986 all the way down to 6.540. So break into this gap, look for the quick fill. And then when we look at it from a high time frame perspective, well, hey, not a ton of volume here. I would say your next significant high volume node comes in, not shockingly, probably right on this volume profile. Whoops, yeah. Look at that. High volume node, volume profile. So you could look at this as a volume profile. And what happens on the way back up? Well, you get in. Whoops. You get in. You go right to the POC. Little turbulence. Flip the POC. Right in. Almost right in. Well, yeah, pretty much right in, right? Value area low. POC. Flip it. Value area high. Then you go back for a retest of the POC. Big old breakout. So these are kind of the only things I can look at locally. This is a low volume gap, so just be aware of that. You know, we'll check back in on this to see if it fills. There's no guarantee it fills, right? You can hold on top of it and get the bounce, but this is what I would look at. If you lose this low volume gap and you start pushing down, this volume profile is something to look at. And then above, we also have a pretty clear volume profile here. But when we look at our money flow, right, a lot of people always ask me, Frankie, how do I know? Whoops. How do I know whether a range is going to break up or break down, right? Because I get it. I'm trading the volume profiles, bro. Thank you for showing them to me. From the low to the high, from the high to the low, from the low to the high, from the high to the low. Fake out, from the low to the high, from the high to the low. But how do I know if this thing is going to break down or break out, right? We're not going to range around forever. Well, what's your money flow doing? This is how we identify it, guys. Bing bong sideways. As you're bing bonging sideways, what's happening to your money flow? Your money flow is coming out throughout that entire range, meaning that you should favor lower highs and lower lows and a breakdown of that range. There it is. Right? So I wouldn't say, I don't know if you're going to get back up there with the way money flow looks like right now. This is the 90-minute money flow, 2-hour money flow in the red, 3-hour money flow looking to cross over into the red, same as Bitcoin, same as Ethereum. So I would probably be looking for lower highs and lower lows at this point. So I'll even give you a little bit of some levels to look at. So just understand this value area low at 7754. POC sitting at 7919. Value area high sitting at 8308. I would probably be inclined to look at this as resistance. So, if you got a bounce here, let's just say, right? Like maybe you get a 4-hour green dots printing. I don't really have high hopes for this, but if that 15-minute money flow crosses into the green, if you could look for a bit more of a local retracement, but I would be very careful around this golden pocket 786, right? Value area low confluence. This could be the lower high for a lower low, which could break you back into this lower gap, which could send you down to the bottom of it. So something like this is kind of what I would look for if you get the bigger retracement. If not, hey, it might just kind of melt down here into the gap. But if that 15-minute money flow crosses over and you start pushing into this level, I'd be very careful around that golden pocket 786. So there you go. Those are some levels I would look at and what I would expect from our boy, Pump.Fun. Shout out to Wolf of Crypto said, Frankie, can I please see the VPVR settings? Mine are way bigger. Yes. Shout out to Wolf of Crypto. Yes, I know you probably are seeing that, something like this. Still, I just changed the colors, but yeah, this is probably what you're seeing. You still see the gaps. You can still see the gaps, but I think just to make it a little bit more granular, I use a 250 row size, right, which makes it much cleaner and nicer to look at. So there you go. That will change it, right? Let me go back to my settings. So all I have changed is row size 200 or 250. I mean, if you can put 300 if you want, right, or 350 or 2350. Right? It's going to be more granular. I like 200 to 250. It's kind of preference, but there you go. Shout out to Wolf Crypto. You're the best. Shout out to Wolf Crypto. Sui. Let's take a quick look at, Nas. Shout out to Gen Z. We could try to take a look at Nas. Let's take a look at Sui. Take a sip of the black coffee. Oh, man. One day, guys. One day I won't have to search every chart to see where our chart is. I don't even think this is it. Is it? Yes, it is. All right, so Sui still rejecting the golden pocket. All right. We looked at this yesterday. Not a ton to update on Sui. We had the golden pocket. This is the new golden pocket retracement from the low to the high. So, yeah, if you continue down here, I would look down towards this golden pocket. The daily is now tapped. So, man, top of the golden pocket's tapped as well. So you probably want to move that down to like just the bottom of the golden pocket because these are tapped. I don't know, man. I would say, down here at about 343 would be your next level on Sui if you continue down. Is it likely to see the continuation down? Well, like I said, on Ethereum, on Bitcoin, everything looks the same. Money flow coming out. So I'd still be cautious on this for lower highs and lower lows. If you can't hold that 340 level, I would be looking for a move down. This is probably a better level. Daily 786, both naked, sitting between 333 and 330. So very simple. That's your key level of resistance if you can't hold 340 or 343. But yeah, we looked at this key level of resistance, right? Like this is a no trade zone, right? Like I'm not trading this thing here. Like there's just no trade to be had. If I want to take a short, the risk to reward is absolutely ridiculous, right? It's like my stop loss has got to be all the way up here with a potential target of this terrible trade. If I take a long, I mean, maybe you're bouncing off some kind of a fib. You got a golden pocket here locally. Yeah, you're holding your golden pocket. I mean, not that I would trade this. I'm just using this as like a... So, yeah, but here's the thing, right? If I'm looking for a higher low to come in here, like you want money flow coming up. You just don't have that. So this is like a no trade zone for me. If I were to look for anything, right, I would either need to wait for a bigger drop down for a long or I would need a bigger retracement up for a short. So no trade zone. I would say your next key level sits at 343. Below that, I wouldn't even put a lot of weight on that. I'd say below that, more importantly, you have the 333 to 330 daily and 786. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to take this off, even though 333 or 343 is still technically support. I'm just going to take these off. This is really the bigger level. This daily is tapped. You can see how well the daily was respected, but it is now tapped. So I would look down here. Let me see. Do I have a... What do I have on this chart? And then just for context, right, you're just within this larger profile. And to be honest, guys, I mean, we're coming down from the value area low. POC, you can't break out. I mean, you have your high, your low, your lower high, high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. You might be able to continue that trend with this money flow coming out. Just being transparent here. So there you go. Shout out to Sin Nasty Kid. Thank you for the super chat. Says, can we take a look at Kato? I could try. Quick reminder, guys, please do not super chat your altcoins. Only because I'm about to wrap up here. I'll just do this towards the end. Super chats do not guarantee we look at your altcoin. Just get a little bit of bearing here. I'll take that. Let's see. Bada boom. Yeah. Key level here. 786 at $1.05. If you lose this, I would say not looking too hot. Currently, you're holding it. Low high. Tried the higher low at the golden pocket value area low. Couldn't get it. 786, you got it. Not looking good, bruv, if you lose this 786. And I don't have time to mark off this entire chart. I could try to find to see if I could just eyeball a couple MPOCs down there. If you have some, I'm not going to be able to do it. Maybe the weekly will populate. Yeah, your next weekly MPOC is all the way down here at 70 cents. Monthly MPOC, none. Daily MPOCs I can't populate because they're too far back. Could try to get some horizontals in here as well. So you got a weekly down here. That's not too bad. Because, it's not just going to be an instant drop to the downside, but technically losing that 786 weekly does open the door to break structure to the downside. It doesn't mean you have to, but it definitely opens the door. So you got a weekly there, and then your next weekly is sitting all the way down here. Daily, let's see. You got a local daily right here, sitting at $1.11. So your hope here, honestly, if this was me, right, if I were, let's say, holding this, I would not really, you definitely don't want to lose the 786. If you lose the 786, maybe you play around, you can reclaim it. But you do not want to decisively lose this 786 in this weekly because I think that would trigger a much bigger drop to the downside. And if we pull up the visible range, come on. What the heck was that? All right. All right, so, yeah, from this perspective, right, you actually do have nice, if you lose that 786 weekly, you're getting accepted into this profile, which potentially gives you the move down to the POC and potentially down to the value area low for a very likely break of structure. So that all still remains the same. You definitely, biggest level of support, in my opinion, is the 786 value area high right here and the weekly, right? You do not want to lose this zone. If you lose this, you're at least looking down towards the POC. You actually have some nice confluence on the POC with the weekly. These are the biggest levels I would look at. No confluence at the value area low. So these are the biggest levels you want to hold. Again, losing the 786 overall would make me suspicious of breaking down, at least to the value area low, if not to break structure. They're very close. So locally, you kind of want to stay on top of this daily and get back into the range, right? Flip this high volume node. You might be able to get a quick move up towards that POC. These are levels I would look at. Oops. So yeah, that value area high between $1.05 and 98 cents is the biggest level you want to stay above. You lose that, I'm looking down here to about 84 to 79 cents. And then if I pull up Market Cipher B, I'll try to get a read on this. I don't know. Again, Market Cipher B has been a little bit choppy lately. Yeah, 4-hour money flow in the red, 3-hour money flow in the red. Looks a little different than everything else. 2-hour money flow attempting to be in the green here. I would not even look at money flow, if I'm being honest. Super choppy. Maybe high time frame money flow, which, of course, I don't have. No 4-day, no 3-day. Man. Yeah, I would ignore Market Cipher on that one. So this is what I would look at. Your goal is to get above this value area low and hold above this value area high. I wouldn't even care if you bing-bonged around here, right? But you just don't want to break it below that level. Definitely a bigger drop to the downside in that case. So there you go. Value area low sitting here at about 69 cents. POC sitting at 83. Value area high, weekly 786 confluence sitting at about $1. Upper range, value area low, $1.23. POC, $1.70. And your value area high at $2.15. So there you go. All right, let me jump back into chat here real quick. Let's see. Shout out to Gen Z says, send it Nos. Let's take a look at Nos real quick for our boy. Shout out to Gen Z. Yeah, baby. Let's go. Actually, Gen Z, I think we spoke. Yeah, we talked about this. Nice. Yo, shout out to Gen Z, bro. This is the chart that we marked up on the premium for you, I believe. Holding the golden pocket. Let's go. You got the push into your major resistance, which is very nice to see this thing come back to life. You get the pullback into your golden pocket. Very nice. You're holding it. I don't hate that. Four-hour money flow not coming out as aggressively as everything else. And then, of course, the 3-hour and the 2-hour looks very similar to everything else. Let's check the daily real quick. Daily money flow's been in the red here for quite some time. So it's not like you're getting a fresh crossover. So, yeah, I mean, nice. You know this, Gen Z. Gen Z's in the premium, bro. You know. That value area high would be very nice to hold. Break down below that. Next chance. POC 786 daily MPOC sitting right here. Between 46 or 58 and 51 cents. So yeah, right now you're getting a pretty decent bounce off that golden pocket. You continue up there, flip that value area low, might be able to send it up through the profile. If you break down, all eyes on that POC 786 daily naked point of control. Shout out to Lucia said, Frankie, what are you expecting for BTC over the weekend as volume is going to drop even lower and it's already so low? Well, if the volume is super low, I will expect what we expect on low volume, which is probably something. Try to find a... trying to find an area where it was like horrifically sideways. Yeah, probably something like this. Maybe over the weekend, if it's low volume. And look at this. Saturday. And then Sunday we got some volatility. Or no, Saturday. Actually, Saturday was pretty volatile. And Sunday. Dang. But if we have super low volume, it's probably just going to be sideways choppy. Shout out to Sid Nasty Kid. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, thanks, brother. I appreciate all your teachings. Shout out to you, man. No problemo. I got you, brother. Shout out to Panda the Prophet said we're all about to be super poor. Shout out to Panda the Prophet. I hope not. I hope not. Let's see. Dogecoin. We can take a quick look at Dogecoin. How's Bitcoin doing? 15.4. Yeah, she's popping back down there. That would be kind of horrifying. Not horrifying, right? But that'd be like really annoying if we just front run that POC and send this thing up. Come on, baby. Continue down. Continue down. Push it down for the short. Come on. Come on. Push it down for the short, baby. All right. Let's take a look at Dogecoin real quick. Dogecoin attempting to hold the point of control. Again, all money flow looks the same, but you're inside your range. Dogecoin actually not looking too healthy. It's not looking too bad. I was going to say not looking too bad, but then I said looking healthy. I said not looking too healthy. Totally different sign. Looking not too bad. Above the value area low, POC is next. Check it off the list. Boom. Right? Little correction. Oh, my God, what happened? What happened? Right? We get the move. Back above the POC. So right now, if you want an aggressive push up on Dogecoin, POC is the level to hold, 26 cents. Is this likely? I don't know. Money flow's coming out on the daily. All the other time frames look exactly the same as everything else, which would indicate high, low, lower, low, right? Or high, low, lower, low. We didn't put the lower low in, but I would just still be very careful of lower highs and lower lows. Once you lose the POC, watch this anchored VWAP at 22 cents. You lose the anchored VWAP, well, hey, maybe you can head down towards that value area low. I don't even know if that would be the first place to look, though, if I'm being honest. Let me just pull this fib real quick. This could be something to watch. Golden pocket, value area high, anchored VWAP. If you lose the POC, this would be the level to look at, in my opinion, locally. Golden pocket, value area high. Golden pocket, value area high, anchored VWAP. Lose that, I'm probably just looking down towards the 786. If you can't hold the 786, that's where I would look for the value area low. Crack structure of this low. Right? Yeah. Crack this structure here. So 786 is key here, sitting at 21 cents. But this could be nice confluence if you come down here. But again, with money flow coming out, I would still be careful of lower highs and lower lows. So that's what I would look at on Dogecoin. It looks exactly the same as everything else. Shout out to Mark S. Says, hey, Frankie, I'm in. Thank you for the super chat. Says, hey, Frankie, I'm in a short on XRP. Entry at $3, TP at 280, 786 and value area low. What you think? Shout out to Mark S. Little live trade review here. Let's take a look. So what do we got? We got short from $3. Let's get it on the chart here. Ooh, okay. Short from $3. TP at 280. Let's try to get like the context here. TP at 280, 786. Let's see. So, depending on where your stop loss is, right? When I look at this from a higher time frame, me personally, now granted, I am okay missing the move. At this point, this is too late to short for me personally. You've already gotten a big move down. At some point, you're probably going to get some kind of a retracement, I would think, right? This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to close your trade. I would say stick with your plan, but I'm just telling you what I think about it. For me personally, this is probably a little too late, unless it's just looked at, maybe you have a lower time frame entry and your stop is much tighter. Maybe your stop's like above this high or something. Well, then it actually doesn't look too bad. Let me see, 30-minute red dot printing. I mean, hey, if you're short at $3, you're already in profit here. So that's nice. Again, I don't know where your stop loss is, but yeah, the only thing I'm not loving is just the fact that, like, I'm always a fan of, like even this, right? It's like you get the drop down, you get a little bit of a retracement into a key level. That's typically where I look for the entry. Maybe you did that over here with a little bit of a retracement, but you do have the 2-hour VWAP coming up. So this is just something I pay attention to. Who said this? Mark S. Shout out to Mark S. Just be aware of that 2-hour green dot, because if you have the 2-hour green dot, 1-hour bull div confirmed. Not that it's like a beautiful bull div for a massive pump, but you do have the bull div confirmed. 2-day green dot potentially looking to print. 3-day green dot looking to print. 3-hour green dot. Sorry, guys. We're getting to the end of this Friday stream. 4-hour green dot potentially looking to print. I would just be careful of potential retracements back up. So, yeah, I think it may be a little bit of an aggressive target on such a low time frame entry like that, because when I look at it from, like, say, a 2-hour, if I were looking at this chart looking for a short on XRP, and hey, maybe it plays out. I'm not saying, money flow is coming out. I would say that's the right idea. I think the continuation is likely. But for me personally, like, seeing this VWAP come up, unless it just gets rejected at the 0 line, I'm probably more inclined. I'll just tell you how I would trade it. And hey, maybe this is a trade you would catch and I would miss, right? Just to keep it 100. I would probably, maybe not even that high. I'd probably be waiting for some kind of a little bit more of a significant retracement into a Fibonacci retracement, and then take the entry on the green candles, right? Because the idea could be green dot, and then once that red dot comes in, money flow continues out. Plus, you have the 3-hour money flow coming out as well. The 3-hour green dot might print and push you up. So I'm more, my style would be more waiting for the retracement and then entering. But hey, if it dumps, I would have missed that trade. So yeah, what do I think? I would say you're already up 1%. Very, very nice. I would be careful around the value area low. I'd be careful around the golden pocket. Maybe some potential partial TP zones for a final target of the 786. So yeah, congratulations. You are in profit. That's kind of how I would handle it. Would wait for that retracement back up before the move down. But hey, this thing dumps. I would miss that move once again. So just keep that in mind. Shout out to Mark S. Thank you for sharing that with us. And yeah, may the odds be in your favor. May the crypto gods and the odds be in your favor, brother. I hope that it dumps for you. Let's see. Toasty fries sound so good. Shout out to Amina. I would agree with that. Time to go to McDonald's. I got a McDonald's not too far away from here, so don't make me go to Mickey D's, baby. Shout out to MJ. Said, can you take a look at Polkadot? It pumped, and now it's pulling back. Yes, shout out to anybody who saw that pump on Dot. Yeah, I mean, you're still within your profile. It's funny. We got that big move up last night, and doesn't really change my sentiment at all, right? You're just within your profile. 3-day money flow crossover finally happening, right? You got that 3-day money flow crossover into the green. So as long as you stay above this value area low, you might be able to continue up. Once you lose the value area low, I would say your biggest key level to hold is the 786 sitting right here at about 335. Lose that, I'm looking down, right? You really want to hold that 786, to be quite honest. Ideally, you stay inside the value area low. So the value area low at 396 is going to be the key level to hold. You lose that, yeah, the line in the sand is the 786. Value area low, 397, 786, 337. This is nice to hold for a continuation up locally. Whoops, the heck just happened there? For a continuation up locally to the POC. But if you lose this, got to hold that 786. Or honestly, I'm probably looking down here to the daily / Fibonacci extension at about 282 to 261. But you don't have to worry about that till you lose the 786, right? Or even don't have to worry about the 786 till you lose the value area low. So I would say as long as you remain in here, I would just be looking up towards the targets in the profile long term. Lose the value area low, I'm looking down towards the 786. Hold it, get back in here, you're back in the profile. Lose it, very simply put, I'd be looking down here between 283 and 261. Lurkers, hit that like button. Shout out to Orthan. Orthan. Yeah, shout out to Orthan. Shout out to Orthan. Said, shorten this to Kingdom Come. Let's go. Bitcoin hit resistance. Why is the market dumping? Reason? Shout out to Dopamine Gambler. Yeah, I would say, for me personally, we just hit our key level of resistance, which, isn't just I say our key level of resistance, it's some secret level. It's not. We just tapped into that golden pocket retracement, right? Waited for this for quite some time. Even got a little dicey. It was are we going to hit this or... but we did get it, right? That's why I always say yesterday I covered why it's so important to hold on to your sentiment or your plan, right? It's could have FOMO shorted, but what happens? You wind up coming up and boop, you tap right into that golden pocket. Definitely a big level. The reason this is so important is because it is the area where you could be putting in a lower high for a massive lower low. But again, we'll have to assess price action as it comes down. There's plenty of support below us that we could turn around on and continue up to get above the 786 at 120,800 to call for the new all-time high. But until we get above that, right, you got to be real careful around these retracement levels. We looked at this. It took forever to get up there, and we're finally getting a little pullback. And to be honest, nothing really super crazy, right? It's not we're down 40% or something. It's what was this dump? Wick to wick, 2.3%. I consider that volatility. Doesn't mean you can't capitalize on the volatility, but it is volatility nonetheless. Shout out to Amina, said I should be paying more attention. Shout out to Amina. Grab the notepads, grab the pens, or as I used to say, grab your uncooked spaghetti, dip it in your macaroni sauce, not pasta sauce, macaroni sauce, and take your uncooked lasagna and start taking some notes. If you're Italian, you'll get exactly what the pen was, what the sheet of paper was, and what the ink was. If you're not Italian, you're probably why is this guy talking about lasagna? Anyway, with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to all the winners who got a free bag of Cardano. Oh, nice. Looks like a good potential long. Shout out to Brillo. I'm not 100% sure exactly what you're talking about or what coin you're talking about. But I hope it is a good long. I hope you take it. I hope you make money, brother. Shout out to Crypto Independence that these rookies don't remember when 2017 was 40% overnight. Yeah, I think I'm dead to the volatility, guys. It's just I'm dead inside. Honestly, even sometimes it hasn't happened in a while, but even on rare occasions, closest I've gotten here recently was 2 4th of Julys ago. I didn't have a stop loss set, and I was down 17 grand on a leverage trade, And I just showed it to Mrs. Candles like it was. I was just like, hey, look at this. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah. Didn't set a stop loss, apparently. Thought I did. Apparently I didn't. And I got saved by the bell. I got saved by the skin of my teeth there. Wound up closing the trade in $2,000 in profit. But even that, I was just looking at it, and I was like, I'm dead inside. I mean, I don't know. Crazy. Big move might be coming over the weekend. Shout out to Unrivaled Dre. Usually I am hoping for big moves. I'll be honest, guys. I'm kind of exhausted. I hope there's not a big move, because if there's a huge move, I'm going to have to make some videos. I'm going to have to update the Discord. Kind of hoping for some sideways price action. But, hey, if it's a big move, hopefully it's the move to the downside so I can hold this short position and continue to cash in. But, guys, with all that being said, hey, some sake fries are good, too, though. I keep getting distracted from chat. But, guys, I got to hop out of here. Everybody have a great weekend. Thank you for hanging out for the end of the stream. Shout out to all the winners. Go touch some grass. Don't worry. If you miss a move over the weekend, the charts will be here next week. There will be plenty of other opportunities. So until tomorrow or Monday, I'll see you guys. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Please be safe. I'll see you guys next Monday. Hasta pasta. Next Monday. I'm shocked, guys. I got to go. Hasta pasta. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm going to get that second bell. Where the f*** is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Who said it? Shout out to Valley Forge. Said, we got 550 likes for hats. I don't know if it was him, but a lot of people said we hit 550, but we didn't hit 550. We were at 543, but now we're at 550, guys. Technically, the music has not ended. At Tony D. Tony D, are you still in here? If you're in here, can you run one more winner for a Frankie Candles hat? I can't tell you guys exactly what color it will be. I think they are selected at random. But we do have plenty of colors. You guys can also buy these hats, if you please. If you don't want to wait for the giveaways, we do have them in all different colors. Here we are. We got black on black, black on gray, black on white, black on gray speckled with black. We got the all gray. We got the dark gray with the black. We got the dark gray with the navy blue. This is the one I'm wearing right now. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite one. It's like navy blue with like the Carhartt brown. Fire. This is my favorite color hat by far. This is another one of my favorites. This one is a big favorite. A lot of people like this one. I don't like that one. I don't know why. This is like the one everyone likes. This one's kind of nice as well. Not really as much my style, but then we got the coffee, khaki and coffee. And then we get the pink for the female CandleMafia. Oh, you guys can't see anything. What am I doing? There you go. Black on black, black on gray, black on white speckled, gray on gray, I believe that is. We got dark gray on black. We got the charcoal and navy. We got the navy and caramel. That's the one I'm wearing right now. This one is my absolute favorite. We got the like army green with the black. This one's fire. I like this one. I don't wear it a lot, but this one's nice. It's like a Timberland brown or Timberland like orangish with the black. This is the favorite I was talking about. I don't like this one. I don't know why everyone likes that one. This one's just kind of, I don't know. Not my thing. I'm not a big color guy. I like black. I like neutral stuff. Khaki and Coffee, this one's fire as well. It's one of my favorites. And there's the pink for the female Candle Mafia members. And if you guys didn't know, that mannequin right there is a female. Anyway, is Tony D in here? Let's see. Scooted in there by the skin of your teeth there for the hat. But we're going to need Tony D. Let's see. Let's text him. He's probably like, it's over. It's over. I'm just chilling, guys. We're chilling right now. 7:43. Mrs. Candle's like tapping her foot at the door like, bro, I let you go. I let you do this all week. You never talk to me. Come on, give me the weekend. I don't know. Tony D might be behind a little bit. He's answering, guys. He's typing. Should we dox Tony's phone number? I'm kidding. That's not funny. All right, one hat winner incoming. There we go. Tony D hopped in the shower. Tried to sneak out late, but we got him. I'm just kidding. All right, so we're just going to sit here and wait. We're just going to sit here and wait while Tony pulls that winner. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Come on. Going to get my girl a pink hat just to remind her Frankie is #1 in my life. Yo, shout out to Panda the Prophet. Hey, if you guys didn't know, we are co-workers at McDonald's, guys. Frankie Candles works at McDonald's? Absolutely, guys. You see crypto right now? You see the altcoins? I needed a second job. Can you guys hear that music? We're just vibing now. Shout out to Random Trader. Oldie but a goodie. Let's go. Shout out to Random Trader. Are you pointing to your name or your profile? Can't tell. Me. Who's it going to be? I think it's picked off of who is active in chat. So spam the chat. I think it increases your chances. I could be wrong. Tony D will probably let me know. Tony D is just like in a towel, like making his entire place wet, trying to pull the last winner. Tony D, call into the live stream. Call into the live stream and let's see. Oh, there we go. Shout out to Safe Speedy. Let's go. You are the winner of a Frankie Candles hat. Again, I don't know which one it's going to be here. I don't know which one it's going to be, but I do think it's going to be one of these. But there you go. Congratulations for the free hat and scooted in there. 560 likes now. Maybe we should just hang out and get some more likes. I'm just kidding. Mrs. Candle's literally going to drag me off the screen right now. But with all that being said, thank you guys for coming in here and hanging out with us till the end of the stream. Have a safe weekend. Don't text and drive. Do not drink and drive. And we'll see you guys here on Monday. Same place, same time, 5:45 or 5:51 if we count today, p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you all. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go. we go. At the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal